Hey there. I don't plan on spending a whole lot of time making videos to post on YouTube. Um, I just want to do it to, maybe get a little bit of support and maybe meet a couple of people who are kind of going through the same struggles that I am. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to make the videos great and adding effects or anything like that. I have no clue how to do that kind of stuff. Maybe if I knew how, it would be easier. But I just don't really want to spend a whole lot of time doing that because I have other things that I need to worry about, and sometimes things, if I have fun doing something, I just keep doing it, and that's one of the problems with my self-control issues with eating also, is if it's good, I'm going to keep eating it. So if I have fun doing something, I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm not going to use, I have trouble with the self-control. So anyway, all that to say, sorry for the poor quality of all of these videos. I'm trying to find a good place in my house to do it. This seems like an okay place, but I don't like how I look in the video. But that's one thing I wanted to discuss today is, I've been kind of disgusted with myself. I don't like how I look sometimes. I mean, I know that I'm pretty, and I know that my husband thinks I'm gorgeous. And I'm not trying to sound conceited or, self-centered or anything, because I know that all of God's creation is beautiful. And that's how I see myself, as a child of God. So I know that I'm pretty, but when I look at myself, I see my lack of self-control, and I see my carelessness when it comes to what I put in my body, and I see my laziness, and I see just this person who doesn't trust enough and rely enough on the good things of the earth, if that makes any sense. So that's what I see when I look at myself, and that to me is ugly. Just these things that, my faults and the things that have contributed to me turning into this obese person. And I don't want to be defined by that, but that's what I am. I am this very large person, and I have always been that. And I'm typically a pretty happy person, but when I sit and start to think about, what I look like and why I am this way, I get really down on myself. And it doesn't help that I know how lazy I am, and I know when I should be working out, and I just don't do it. So I've been thinking a lot about it today. I was supposed to go to the gym this morning because I wasn't able to go yesterday, because the gym was closed for an inch of snow. I'll still never ever get over that. But I was supposed to go this morning, and I had set my alarm and everything, but my 4-year-old is sick, and he woke up a lot crying last night, saying his throat hurt, and he was so sad, and he just completely broke my heart when he said, I just want to get better. And he said, I want my throat to stop hurting. And I knew that there was absolutely nothing that I could do for him. I could give him some ibuprofen, but that might help later, but it wasn't going to help in the moment. And, I gave him a drink of water, and he said, that doesn't help. And really, there's nothing I could do. I could give him a hug and a kiss, and that might make him a little bit less sad. And that's what I told him. I said, well, you know, maybe a hug and a kiss will make you feel just a little bit less sad. Um, but it was not going to make his throat feel better. And that's what he wanted. And so it broke my heart. And so we had this back and forth all night last night where he just kept waking up with this sore throat, and he was so sad. And so when my alarm went off at 5 this morning, I, I rolled over to my husband and I said, I'm not going to the gym. he might wake up and want me and I'm not here. And I think part of that was an excuse, you know. Sometimes you just don't want to go. And I think that was the first time when I actually planned on going and I didn't. So I was pretty hard on myself after I woke up this morning because, you know, I should have gone to the gym and I was just using that as an excuse. But I've been thinking a lot about it today and thinking about how I was thinking about a book that I read a while back about giving your children grace and how God gives us His grace. You know, we mess up and we fail all the time, but He still gives us His grace, and we don't deserve it, but He gives it to us anyway. And so we need to do that for our children. You know, they're going to mess up and they're going to fail and they're going to, you know, be disobedient, and they're going to have struggles, and you know, sometimes we just need to give them a little bit of grace. And you know, so I was just thinking about how I need to give myself some grace. I have a life, and while it's important for me to lose some weight, lose a lot of weight, and it's important for me to get healthy, it's also important to not make myself overwhelmed. You know, I was watching The Biggest Loser, and you know, I never really started watching that until just maybe last year because I thought it was stupid. But I watched it, and I saw how much weight these people are losing in just 3 months. 3 months is, you know, not very much time at all. And these people are losing like 60, 80, 100 pounds. And it's incredible. And, you know, it's really easy to say, I could do that. And then once you start trying, you realize that there's no way that's going to happen. No way at all. And then it gets kind of overwhelming, and then you kind of feel guilty and you feel bad because you realize that you can't do it. How can these people do it and I can't? And I had to remind myself the other day that they put their entire lives on hold so that they could concentrate on this 100%. And I don't have the ability to do that. I don't have the luxury of doing that. I have a life. You know, I have 2 children. I have a 5-month-old who, you know, requires me to sit down and nurse her every 3 or 4 hours. And I have a 4-year-old who needs his mommy to sit down and play with him and read him books and make him lunch and make him dinner, and a husband who, you know, needs help around the house. And so I can't just sit down and, you know, eat the best food. I have to go out to the grocery store and pay for it. You know, these people on that show, they just kind of, they don't have to pay for their food. They don't have to worry where the food is coming from or how they're going to pay for it. They can just, you know, it's provided for them. And they can spend all day, every day making a plan and executing it to get healthy. And I just don't have the luxury of doing that. So after I realized that, I felt a little bit better and realized that a year is a much better goal of losing a lot of weight. But then, you know, I have to take it a step further and say, I have to give myself grace in the little things too. Like not going to the gym this morning. I felt so bad and I was really hard on myself. But life happens, and if I give myself a really hard time every single time I don't do what I'm supposed to do, then I'm gonna end up getting very overwhelmed, and I'm gonna quit, because that's what happens is, you know, things start to get really, really hard and I get overwhelmed and I quit. So right now I need to continue working on my small goals, which is, you know, making it a habit, making it a routine to go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. And I didn't go Wednesday, I didn't go today, so I'm going tomorrow, and I'm gonna go Saturday, and so that will be my 3 times this week. And I just have to give myself a little bit of grace and just give myself, you know, the ability to mess up sometimes, because that's important, and I don't want to get overwhelmed and fall behind. So my question is, do you ever get hard on yourself when you mess up, and how do you handle that? I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day. Bye.